Oh yeah, YouTube, George here, and I finally got around to fitting my Sino SDS6-2V DRO. I bought this just after Christmas, I think, and decided that when I was going doing a bit of work on the lathe, a bit of tidying up on it, that I'd fit it. Now I want this video to be a cautionary tale as well. I'm lucky I'm here at all to be making it, to be honest, and it was mainly through my own stupidity that the events I'm telling you about unfolded. So I had a machine like this, and I had fitted the saddle glass slide and discovered that I had it too far forward, that the cover that goes here wouldn't have fitted, so I had to move it. Now here's where the stupidity comes in. You can see where I have it on its these 4x4s now. I had it on 4x4 this end. The reason being, this thing has a bit of an oil leak, and I wanted it to let all the oil run down to the end of the apron and drip out a hole that's in the corner, because I'm cleaning it down and trying to degrease it, etc, etc. So instead of the way you see the 4x4 going across here, I had it the other way, and went to go drill a hole and leaned the wrong way, and the whole lot just over on its side. Now, the luck of God, I was behind it when this happened. I was around here because I was drilling a hole, and if I had been this side when it happened, I'd be in a hospital today, I'd say, with a load of broken ribs and whatever. But I was lucky. My own fault, no one to blame, only myself, pure stupidity. So it grazed the bench on the way down, and that kind of saved it to some degree. But it did snap it broke the carriage hand wheel. That's the one, I've just nipped the one off the tailstock for now. So and it snapped this as well. So we have this drilled because I couldn't get out the remnants of the bolt, so we'll make a new handle. But anyway, back to the DRO. Stupidity session is finished. So you can see it, it's our cross slide. Now, when I bought this, I wanted glass slides on both ends, so hence this rather salubrious looking engineered cover that I made using the cover that they give you. So I have said glass slide on its side. I have this this is drilled and tapped into the cross slide and attached to the reader head, and this cover comes across and comes down, so it's completely covered from oil and swarf and all of that good stuff. The slide was a bit big and awkward, truth be told, but we got it to work, so I'm quite pleased with it now. This machine, when I bought it, this was in the drawer, so it previously had a DRO fitted on it at some point. So I reused that because the bracket was all the bracketry was still there, and I just drilled and tapped the top of it and put in this piece that they give you with the Sino DRO. So I have the ground. This is an important step that a lot of people would skip, and what I'm about to tell you is based on my experience with radio. So this is linked back to a convenient ground point on the machine, or earth point, whatever you want to call it, depending on what side of the Atlantic you are. And the idea of this is to stop any stray interference getting picked up by these, it grounds these as well, which shields them. And it's just, all you have to do is run the wire from the binding post to an earth point and you're good to go. It'll only take you a couple of minutes. So the back splash is off, the motor cover's off. These all have to be sanded. All the bottom of the machine is sanded, and bits of the top. So I have to continue degreasing it and trying to get rid of all the swarf before we paint it. I'm just going to brush paint it, and it's just going to be like take it apart as much as I can to paint it, sort of an effort. I'm not stripping it down to the last nut and bolt to do it, because you just end up with a machine that was never the same, in my opinion. And we'll paint it and get it back into the corner. I wanted to get this done and dusted now the way before we continue on with the mill. But quite pleased with the DRO. I have to spend some time reading the book. This does all sorts of mad calculations, and I put the cover on it just to keep it clean. So yeah, that's my tale of ineptitude and I guess becoming over familiar, I think, is the thing I want to get across. Don't become over familiar with these machines, because they will bite you. I was very lucky that I was behind it when it happened. So anyway, we live to fight another day, and we're well underway now to getting it sorted out. Interestingly, with this machine, a lot of people doubt me when I tell them this on Facebook groups and stuff like that. This is a Colchester Bantam 2000 from the late 80s, early 90s, I guess. Pretty much the same as a Harrison M250, more or less. And this has the removable gap section. You can take this section of the bed out. I have the 3 bolts out of it there before I paint it. So I don't know if you can see it there. It's very hard to see it. There you go. There's the line there. So it just gives you an extra couple of inches of swing. If you're turning something big on a back plate or something like that. But a lot of people don't believe me when I tell them that it has a split bed, or a bed gap, or whatever you want to call it. But it does. So I'm not sure how it works though, because the gear for the gear for the carriage comes up about 50 mil past it. So I'm not sure, does that just stay there or what? I'm not 100%. Maybe it is a split in it as well, I don't know. But yeah, so there you go. I'm quite pleased with my little cover. The glass scale, it's completely enclosed, so it leaves it a little awkward getting to the bolt for the compound. So you have to kind of wind it in halfway, and I have a real long 13mm spanner that I can get at from here, but I don't adjust the compound all that often, to be honest, with the work I do here. So it's only once in a blue moon sort of an effort, you know. But there you go. There you go, as the fella says. Be careful, boys and girls. But she's almost ready for paint now. And this has a little bit of an oil leak. You know, what do you call a Harrison or a Colchester mill that doesn't have an oil leak? Empty. So when it was on its side overnight, because I had to go off and get an engine crane. A big save from Charlie over in Keen Equip Machine Tools in Keena, County Longford. He very kindly lent me an engine crane, and it picked it up like it wasn't even under it. So only I don't have the space for one here, I'd buy it and have it, because a handy piece of kit to have when you're playing around with these old things. So we lifted it up with that, and yeah, happy days. So hopefully the next time you see it, I'll have it painted and back together and back in and re-leveled. Not looking forward to that. I hate leveling it. It's an absolute pain to do it right. But yeah, what we're going to do now this time is we're going to make a metal shelf that goes along the backsplash along here, we'll say, because now I have the quick release or the quick change tool posts. I can just leave them sitting on the shelf because I will gather more of them over time. And down this end of it, I'll have holes drilled in it for all my tailstock attachments. So hopefully we'll have that done the next time you see it. So listen, I'm rambling now. I'll leave it there. I was not a happy bunny here yesterday. I was very embarrassed and seriously questioning what the hell was going through my mind when I did what I did. But look at pushing to get it done, and luckily enough the machine survived, so happy days. Alright, we'll leave it there for this one and we'll get you in the next one. Bye bye, and I hope you're all enjoying the nice sunny weather that we're having here in Ireland. The last couple of days it's been 25 plus degrees here, centigrade, right in the centre of Ireland. Probably a little bit more, 28 maybe. Anyway, we'll get you in the next one, and take care. Bye bye.